Hello everyone, welcome to HTML Level 1 Part 2, where we'll be discussing HTML headings, formatting text, and MAQ. So, quick one, what are HTML headings? So, HTML headings include 6 levels of headings. So, these headings are ranked according to the importance. So, they include the H1, the H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Okay, so it depends. So H1 is the largest heading, while H6 is the smallest heading, which means that anytime you declare H1, whatever you write inside your H1 will be bigger than every other headings. So while H6 it will be the smallest heading. Alright, then I'll also be showing you some formatting tests like the bold text, italics, superscript, subscript, delete, and so on. Then we'll be using a MAQ. So MAQ is a sliding text that you can put on your HTML document, that once it's displayed on the web page, is going to slide depending on how you've set it, probably from the left to right, right to left, and so on, and the color you have applied to it. Alright, so let's quickly put this into part so that I can show you how to do this. Alright, back to my TrebeEdit app. So this is my folder, the folder I created on. So creating this folder, as you can see from the information here, it says there's only one file inside this folder, and the file is HTML level 1. Okay, so we'll open this folder. So this is the HTML level 1 that I did for the first tutorial. Okay, so I'll continue this level 1 part 2 inside this level 1, so I will add up to it. Okay, so this was where we stopped the last time. So if I view, I will see my last session, which says this is a paragraph, this is another paragraph, and this is a line break, as you can see from the preview page. Okay, so I'll add to this. So to continue from here, so I'm going to add my horizontal line. So I will add an horizontal line at the end of what I've done here, so to show that I'm starting a new session. So horizontal line is just to differentiate, or just to separate one element from another element. So still in my body, so I'll add an horizontal line by declaring HR. So HR, then close. Then let's come down. Remember, I'm working on heading, I'm working on some formatting text and MAQ. So I'll start with heading. So this time I will declare my heading H1. Heading as H1 to H6, so I'm going to be using H1 first down to H6. So I'll say H1 and then close this. Once you close it, generates the closing tag for you and say this is heading 1. Then let's add the next paragraph, next line, that is heading. So I'll say heading. So okay, so heading, so I'll use this as heading 2, that's H2, not H1 again, since we have used H1. So here I will say heading 2. Then this is heading 2. Let me change my H is capitalized. So okay, then we can add next one, that is H3, until we get to H6. So don't forget that. Then here I will say H3. This is heading 3. Then let's add another one and say H4. This is heading 4. Let's add another H5. This is heading 5. Then let's add the last one. Remember, it stops at H6, so I will say H6. This is heading 6. Okay, so as you can see from here, I've declared all my headings H1 to H6, so I can go view it to see how different they are. Okay, so viewing this now, I will see. So let me start from here. The horizontal line that I created first before creating my heading is this. So it differentiates between this element and this element. So this is heading 1. As you can see how big heading 1 is, down to heading 6. Heading 6 is the smallest. Heading 5 is the next. heading 4, heading 3, heading 2, why heading 1 is the biggest. Alright, so let's continue. So we'll move on to the formatting test. So this time again, I will add an horizontal line after my heading. So I'll say horizontal line, then close, then come to formatting test. So formatting test, I'll be using paragraph all through. So I will declare my paragraph, then close. So this is a regular test. I'll just write my name is Aziz. So yeah, you can form anything you want. For me, I'll write mine. So I'll say my name is Aziz. Okay. Then let's write the next paragraph. So I'll declare a paragraph. So in between my paragraph now, I'll be using some formatting tests. So this time I'm going to be using a bold test. So I will say a bold test. Let me say B. Yeah. So for the bold test now, I'm going to be writing I am a website. So you can also write this for yourself, developer. Then let's write next one. So after this paragraph, then I'm going to be using big tests. I'll say paragraph, and in between my paragraph I'll declare big, then close. I'll write I love to train people, then let's go down and add another paragraph. So this time I'll declare a small test. So I'll say small, then close. In between my small, then I can write I enjoy eating amala. Amala is a wonderful food in Nigeria. Okay, so I'm just forming this so that you can see. Then let's write another one. I'll write paragraph, then close. In between my paragraph I'm going to be using strong, so I will say strong, then close. Yeah, you can write a lot of things you want to write here. Probably, let me say I am currently learning HTML skill. Okay, so let's continue. Then add next one, paragraph, then close. This time I'll say I love to drink water. So I'm using a chemical symbol for water because I want to introduce my subscript. So I'll say H2O. So this is H. After the H, I will declare my subscript. I will say SUB. Then in between my SUB, I'll put 2. Then after my SUB, then I'll put my capital letter O. So that is H2O. So that the 2 can go down. They are not on the same level. The 2 will not be on the same level with H and O. Then let me enter. So this time I'll write paragraph again, P, and I'll say I always take the first. So let me separate my always. Yeah, so I always take the first position. So I will use a superscript. So yeah, the first. So I will put 1. After my 1, I'll introduce SUP this time. So in between my SUP, I'll write ST. Then I will continue after SUP to write position. So position. So that is I take first position. Then I can go down and write another, which is the last one. I'll say paragraph, then close. In between my paragraph, I'll declare a delete element. So this delete shows that it will cross the line. I'll say this is a deleted test. Okay, so we are done with this. This is just what we did here for this formatting test. So let's go view it and see how it looks like. Okay, so looking at this now, after we're adding the horizontal line, so it said my name is Aziz. So let me zoom in so that you can see. So it said my name is Aziz. I am a web developer. So I'll move the full stop. This is bold. I love to train people. So you can see how big it is. I enjoy eating amala. You can see this font. I am currently learning HTML skills. Is bold. That's like strong. I love to drink. You can see my H2O that is subscript. Then I always take the first position. This is my superscript. Then this is a deleted text. You can see how it crosses. So do this on your own, screenshot your code. Okay, so before I go, I will just introduce a marquee, then add an horizontal line HR, then put the marquee. This time I will declare a marquee. Just spell marquee MARQUEE. That's marquee. Understand the spelling. Then I'll close it. In between my marquee, I'll say this is a sliding test. You can write anything you want there. Okay, so I'm done with this. Let me go view it. After this, so that I can see what is there properly, I can add a break line so that there's a space between the bottom and this last element. So I'll say BR and close. Then I can go view. Okay, so viewing at the bottom, you will see that it's saying this is a sliding test. So it will be going from right to left. So by the time you get to CSS, you understand how to style this sliding test. So this is just a sliding test. Just do this on your own. Screenshot your preview page and your code. Then you can send it on the assignment group.